William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. Whyte on Sky Sports Box Office.
Radio Raheem with Anthony Joshua. We're only 48 hours before the fight, man, and things have gotten intense. Up there was a lot said that was maybe felt like crossing the line. How did you feel about what was said up there? And, you know, is he crossing the line with you at this point?
Well, I can never knock a man who talks facts, and that was my past. And we're here now. You know, I think you got to give credit as well due to the fact that I changed my life around. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying, but give credit as well where credit's due. I think there's a time and a place for certain things as well, and that's what I told him. I said, compose yourself, man. I said, that's the past. If you want to talk about things like that, you talk privately and personally. You haven't got to announce it to the world. And that's all the problem is. I just don't like the way he composes himself. He just needs to hold it down a bit more in certain situations.
You know, fans in boxing are very unforgiving. They're still talking about your past when these videos go up and whatnot. Now that he's unearthed it, is there anything that you'd like to say, a way that you could clear it up and just, on the record, what's the difference between you then and now, and are you clean?
Yeah, for sure, man. Clean. You know, that was for possession. It wasn't intent to supply, so possession is being in possession of something. Intent to supply is another classified use of what you're trying to do with the substance you had with you. So that's that anyway. So that's what he talks about. Everything else is all irrelevant. Talks about steroids. I think he's complimenting the training because I show everyone time and time again how many times you get drug tested. 5 times in a month. Stuff like that is crazy. And you know, he was the one who had been banned 2 years for taking illegal substances. So I just tell him, for your own good as well, when you talk, just think, because it's backfiring on you. Because the things you talk about are the things you've been convicted for. So as I said, minus of that, this is a professional environment, and just focus on the job at hand. Everything that you talk about, just think about, and just try and tell people how great you feel, how much you're looking forward to the fight, and appreciate people that are coming out. You ain't got to talk about everything else. People don't want to hear all that stuff. They want to see 2 warriors coming together, and that's all it is.
You know, you're not just a professional. You're a superstar on the build. They're looking to put a lot of things on your shoulders. The big spotlight is on you. Growing up, in a way, in that environment, knowing the potential that you have for the future, how much pressure does that put on you? And then talk to me about, like, the journey for you personally and coming from maybe that wayward time to where you are now.
Okay, I only started boxing 7 years ago, 7 and a bit year ago. So I never was that young kid that, yo, that's the champ. Oh, meet my cousin. He's a future of boxing. He's a young champion. So I never really dealt with that pressure. Amateur career was over in a blink. I had my 3rd fight in 2009. 10, 11, 12, I was in the Olympics. So before I know it, I was an underdog and just come through, went to the World Championships, Olympics, and then I was pro. And now I'm feeling the backlash of all that underdog mentality and keeping it low-key now. All the spotlights is on us now, we turn pro. But what that's helped me do is revert back to being private, you know, taking my time and living a simple life, because with the internet now and, you know, biographies, you can hear people's mistakes, you can hear their success stories, and there's nothing wrong with following in the path of someone you look up to. So I kind of study people and how they went about their business and try and incorporate it into my life as an athlete.
And lastly, Anthony, for the critics and those who say that you've been taking the easy road, you've been protected, they're you know, ushering you into a championship situation. What are they going to learn Saturday night? What do you have to prove, and how are you going to prove it?
For the critics, I don't really get involved in that because I'm just a fighter, man. If I'm fighting this guy, I'm going to fight this guy. If I'm fighting that guy, I'm going to fight that guy. There's none of this dodge him or dodge that. That's none of my business. Whoever I fight with my heart. So the critics talk that thing, I just do my thing. So everyone's got a position to play. The critics play their critic position, I play my fighting position. And that's all it comes down to, really. And when it comes to the fight on Saturday, I think that over the last few years, I would never like to these guys that are like, oh, I've had a great 10-week camp. We trained since I started boxing to when I turned pro. I've always trained all year round, and I feel, you know, I'm ahead of schedule with where I should be confident-wise. So 7 years as a boxer is what I should have had as an amateur, and I should be going to the Olympics in 2016 with this feeling I have now. But I have it as a professional, and it's come at a good time with the exposure of the fight. I feel great, I feel good, and I feel 7 years in the game has built me into, I won't say cocky, but I feel confident in my ability, and I'm ready just to, you know, show what I'm capable of doing.
Radio Raheem with Anthony Joshua, cleared-eyed, ready for Saturday night. William Hill Vegas is bringing you Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte. Don't miss it on Sky Sports. Excellent.
William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.